Now, do you know what I consider to be the ultimate test of store knowledge and customer service commitment in a grocery store? That is to ask a random employee where I can find the canned fried onion rings. Now, some of you are laughing, and you know why it is the ultimate test of customer service commitment and store knowledge in a grocery store to ask someone where you can find the canned fried onion rings. Why? Because you don't have any idea where to find them when you go into the store. And some of you are saying, what is this man talking about? And others of you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you know that canned fried onion rings were developed by food scientists many decades ago to serve one purpose on earth and one purpose only, and that is to rest atop green bean casserole, right? Yeah. And so I go up, in fact, where I come from in the South, it has said that you would sooner make a green bean casserole without the green beans than without the onion ring. So I go up to, and I ask this guy, he's the sushi chef, right? I go up and ask him where I can find the canned onion rings. I mean, it's amazing. The guy has a sharp knife in his hand. It's amazing he didn't kind of take me and cut me into little slivers and put me over a bed of rice with a dab of wasabi. But he didn't. And so he said, yes, sir, I'll be glad to show you where they are. And without even so much as consulting a store directory, he goes over to the place where they are, a huge store, like 15 aisles over. He knew right where they were. He got down on the bottom shelf. These things get no respect. He said, how many would you like? And I said, one. 79 cents, about 1.8 cents to the bottom line. So I thanked him kindly, and we're going back to the sushi station. And he said, sir, have you ever been in our store before? And I said, no. And he said, oh, well, let me take you over here. I want to show you our new display of Alaska king crab legs. They've just flown in from Anchorage overnight. Now, you're not allergic to seafood, are you? No, I want you to taste some of this. Here, good. Have some. Put some in some nice clarified butter over there. And then, oh, by the way, I want you to come over here and see this display we have of artisanal olive oils. I didn't even know there were artisanal olive oils. The man acted like he was Danny Wegman. He acted like he owned the place. He was so enthusiastic, so into what he was doing. I was staying with some friends that night in Syracuse, and I did not have the heart to put those onion rings back on the shelf. So I took them to these people we were staying with, and I'm sure they made a dandy casserole with them. But anyway, so I went back about an hour later for my real appointment, and the store manager says, because I said to him, I'd like you to introduce me to somebody whom I would describe as an extra miler. And I told him what an extra miler is, somebody who goes above and beyond in the regular course of how they do their job. He said, we've got a lot of them in the store, but one who I know is here right now is our sushi chef. Let me take you and introduce you to him. So I go back there, and Philip looks at me as if to say, oh, you again? And I told him why I was there. And I said, Philip, your manager has singled you out as somebody who goes above and beyond, somebody who's really remarkable in the store. I've witnessed that. I've been on the receiving end of it. Why are you so into this place? He said, I'll tell you why. He told me a little of his story. He had come to this country 25 years before as a recent high school graduate from the Philippines with 6 of his 7 siblings. Eldest sister stayed in the Philippines. Everybody else settled in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. He's up in Syracuse, New York. 25 years later, eldest sister announces she's coming to the United States for a visit for the very first time. She'd never been to the U.S. None of them had ever been back to the Philippines. He's trying to figure out how he can spend time down in Cherry Hill. It's a 6-hour drive without driving back and forth 19 times. How can he kind of get his days off and his vacation and his PTO and his this and that and lump them all together so he can spend as much time down there as possible? And his manager found out about the situation. He said, wait a minute, Philip. He said, we got a store down in Cherry Hill. How about if we just plug you in down there for about 3 months? He said, they didn't have to do that. He said, that changed the whole dynamic of our family. He said, that had a huge impact that continues to this day. He said, they didn't have to do that. And I began thinking that day, you know what? I'm going to start doing some things I don't have to do around here. And that's how it works.